How can you correctly optimize a PPC campaign if you don't even know why you've got that campaign in the first place? Hey guys, I'm Sharon. Thank you so much for being here. Today's video is going to be focused on PPC. What does PPC mean? What does ACOS mean? What do all these random words you probably never heard of even mean? We're going to get through the basics of it so you actually know what you're getting yourself into. And then I'm going to talk to you guys about my strategy for launching in 2019 using PPC. Make sure you stay to the very end. At the end of the video, I'm going to be giving you my secret weapon for lowering ACOS. Guys, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Thank you to everyone who's already subscribed. I literally started this YouTube channel a week ago. We've already had 108 subscribers. I'm so thankful, but if you haven't, please do now. Anyway, let's get into my computer. All right, guys, so we are currently inside of my computer. I thought about what's the best way to really put across this information, and I honestly think that this is the best way with the PowerPoint presentation. So that's how the video is going to be. All right, so all you need to know about PPC, or most of the things you need to know, so this video won't be too long. So let's start off with understanding what PPC even means. So PPC means pay per click and is also known as sponsored ads. It's an advertising method where an advertiser, which is you and I, pays only for the advertisement that the potential buyer clicks and views the product. So what that means is you only pay when the buyer actually clicks on your ad, not when they just see it. As Amazon is a shopping site, you're reaching out to customers that are already in a shopping mindset. So this is something that really differentiates between Amazon PPC and then PPC like on Facebook or on Google, for example, because people who are coming into Amazon are already looking to buy the product that is similar to yours because you've targeted them on that specific sort of keyword. So it's something to remember that, you know, you're targeting what I call hot clients and not cold clients. And you just need to convince them that your product is the right choice for them. So common terms that are used in the PPC world, CPC is cost per click. So how much does each click actually cost you? And the cost per click will be different for different keywords in different types of campaigns, and we'll talk about that later. CTR is click-through rate, which is the ratio of your click versus your impressions. So how many people actually clicked on your campaign compared to how many people actually saw it. ACOS is your advertising cost of sale, which is a ratio of sales versus your ad spent. So how much money did you actually get back from the money that you actually put into the advertising? Impressions is how many eyeballs have seen your sponsored ads. So how many people actually saw the ad, didn't necessarily click it, that's just the impressions. Daily budget is the maximum amount that you're willing to spend per day per campaign. When your daily budget runs out, that campaign will pause and it will restart the next day, which is at midnight PDT time. A tip that I feel that nobody really talks about is that you need to take into account that Amazon will take your daily budget per campaign. They'll multiply that by 30 because there's an average of 30 days per month. And then it knows how much money it has to play around with or to actually spend per month, and they'll divide that however they see fit per day. So I'll give you an example. Let's say you have an auto campaign and you've put in a $10 daily budget. $10 times 30 days equals $300. Amazon knows it has $300 that they can play around with for that month. One day they may spend $25 and then another day they may only spend $2. So when you see a specific day you spent more than $10, even though your daily budget is only $10, that's the reason why. And that's information straight from Amazon. Bid. The bid is how much you're willing to spend per click. Typically, the more competitive the keyword, the higher you're going to need to bid. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. So understanding placements. Placements are the places where your ads may appear on the Amazon site. Currently, there's 3 placement groups. Top of search, which is the first search results on page 1. The rest of search, which is everywhere else apart from page 1. And then product pages. And the top of search which is the first page, refers to the sponsored products at the top row on the first page. So it's only on the first page. The rest of search refers to sponsored ads shown in the middle, at the bottom, or anywhere else on the second page and onwards. Product pages refers to the sponsored products on the product listing page and other placements of the search results, like the add to cart, for example. Setting bids by placements. So in addition to selecting a bidding strategy where you've got, hold on, I just want to make sure that, okay, I didn't. We've got dynamic or fixed bids. You can also set bids by placements. So this may be a bit advanced for you, and if it is, ignore this part or come back to it later. You may enter a percentage increase, so up to 900%, to your main bid for 2 placements. So that's either top of search or product pages. When you do this, your bids are increased up to the percentage that you've entered when your ads compete for opportunities on those placements. So what that actually means is, let's say if you have a bid, you've gone for fixed bid or dynamic bid down only, and then you've put $1 for a specific keyword, and then in the top of search placements, you put in 100%, you're telling Amazon that you're willing to pay up to 100%, which is another $1, so $2, in order to be at the top placement, which we just spoke about the placements. So bidding strategies, I thought about how to explain this in a PowerPoint, and it's kind of difficult. So I'm just going to make a different video for bidding strategies. It'll be the next video. Product targeting methods. So expect to bid higher as you move from auto to exact campaigns as the targeting becomes more restrictive. And I've actually taken this specific image from Amazon. And then you've got the automatic campaign, which is the least expensive. Least expensive meaning least expensive, the least it will cost per specific keyword. So let's say if you're targeting water bottle in auto campaign, it'll be a lot cheaper than targeting a water bottle in an exact campaign. Okay? So obviously when you've got an auto campaign, you can't actually choose keywords. We'll speak about that soon. So we've got automatic campaigns, broad, phrase, and exact. And as you can see in that pyramid, the less restrictive is at the bottom, and the higher you go up, the more the bid is going to cost. And we're going to talk about that in a different video. Product targeting method. So we're going to start with auto. With automatic targeting, Amazon matches your sponsored ad with a keyword or products that are similar or related to the product in the sponsored ad. The algorithm chooses these keywords and product matches based on buyers' shopping searches that are related to your product information. Okay, so what that basically means is Amazon's taking your listing and targeting keywords from your listing or keywords or ASINs similar to keywords in your listing, and has 100% control over what keywords or ASINs it will target. So pros. Keyword data straight from Amazon. Automatic is a great way of targeting if you want data. It's very quick and easy to set up. You don't really need to know too much about Amazon, about PPC, to do this. You pick up on search trends or search terms that you may have never known about. So let's say if you sell a water bottle, maybe the auto campaign will come up with a super long tail keyword like water bottle for women that work out, that you wouldn't have thought about targeting that specific keyword. Wasn't the best example, but you know what I mean. Cons. Amazon has 100% control, especially, just before I go, especially on ASINs. So if Amazon targets a specific ASIN that you don't want it to target, you cannot negative exact an ASIN and an auto campaign, only keywords. So Amazon has 100% control. The bid is default for all keywords. You can't play around with a keyword, with a bid per keyword. If you don't stay on top of your reports, you could be targeting irrelevant keywords that have absolutely nothing to do with your product. And I'll give you guys an example. I had a client who sold, I'm going to make up the product. Let's just pretend for the sake of the example. They sold a water bottle, because we've been using the water bottle. And the brand name was Gilmore. And then Amazon was showing up their water bottle on things related to the Gilmore Girls, if you've seen the show. And he didn't pick up on that on time. And then he just had spent hundreds of dollars on keywords that had absolutely nothing to do with his product, just because of the word Gilmore. It was targeting Gilmore Girls. And by the time he picked up on it, he'd already wasted a lot of money. So it's really important, if you are doing an auto campaign, to be on top of your reports. The next product targeting method, auto targeting options. So there are 4 new targeting options. These probably came in like 2 or 3 months ago, that Amazon has added to refine how the algorithm refines your ads to search terms and products. So you've got auto close match, which is targeting shoppers who use search terms closely related to your product. So for example, if you're selling a water bottle, keywords like water bottle. Loose match, targeting shoppers who use search terms loosely related to your products. So maybe like fitness accessories or something like that, if you're selling a water bottle. Substitutes, targeting shoppers who view the detail page of products similar to yours. So for example, if you're selling a water bottle, a different water bottle listing. And complements, targeting shoppers who view the detail pages of products that complement your product. So if you're selling a water bottle, maybe a complement product to that would be like a water bottle holder, okay, for example. You can choose to either target these and give them bids per, like a budget per one of them, or you can choose to just do a normal automatic campaign where Amazon will just do what it always used to do and not use these different targeting options. So the next targeting method is manual. With manual targeting, you choose your own keywords, your own ASINs to target and or categories. Pros, number 1 is you're in control. It's good for ranking on specific keywords because you choose the keywords. It's easier to navigate because you have more control. Targeting a specific group of people. So for example, what I mean by that is in manual, you can decide, let's say if you're selling a water bottle and you have decided you want to super niche it and you're going to go for water bottle for kids, okay, or fitness water bottle for kids. You can then specifically target just fitness water bottles for kids using a manual campaign rather than in auto, you have no control. Cons, bids are more expensive. You're only targeting a specific group of people. So the fact that it's a pro, it's also a con because maybe there's keywords that you didn't really know about that you could target. Okay. What are match types? So we've got 3 different match types within the method. So the different targeting methods, you've got auto and manual, and then in manual, you've got 3 different match types. The first one is, so match types help control how search terms are matched with the keywords that you're bidding on. They provide you the additional control to help you reach the campaign goal. And then there's 3 different. You've got exact match, phrase match, and broad match. We'll now explain what exact match is. The buyer's search term must be the exact word or phrase or a very close variation to it. When you should use this? When trying to target a specific keyword or search term, that it will target only that exact term that you put in. When you're trying to rank for a specific keyword. Pros, you're in control. You control the exact keyword and the bid. You choose exactly what keyword or search term will be targeted. Cons, more expensive bids, only targeting a very specific audience as we target only the exact phrase that we've put in. So here's an example. If you've put in an exact match, the keyword gold eye mask, it will only target gold eye mask and gold eye masks. I'm from New Zealand. I don't even know why I said mask. I say mask. So gold eye mask or gold eye masks with an S. That's all it will target. It won't target anything else. So it's a good thing if you're trying to rank or if you know the exact keywords you're able to convert on with a lower ACOS or that you want to rank on. And it's a negative if, you don't actually know and you're just guessing, then you're only targeting that specific audience that's trying to find that specific product through that keyword. So then we have phrase match. Targeted search terms must have the exact phrase and be the same order as that keyword term, and I'll explain that in a second. The search term can contain words before or after the keyword, and I'll show you an example now. When to use it? When you're trying to target a specific keyword, search term in different variations. Cons. I don't know why I didn't put pros here, but more expensive bids, targeting a smaller audience, unlike broad. And then there's an example. So let's say I put gold eye mask as a targeted keyword and phrase. It could target gold eye mask for women. So then you can see for women is after the gold eye mask. 15-pack gold eye masks. So the word 15-pack was before the gold eye masks. Under eye gold eye mask for women, etc. Broad match. What is broad match? Buyers' search terms must contain all the key terms or close variation. Words can be in order and contain additional keywords. You can see I wanted to add a bullet point there and I didn't. When to use? When wanting to deliver to a larger audience. More targeted keyword data than auto. Cons. You can't bid per search term, only per keyword. You may target totally irrelevant keywords. And then examples. Gold eye mask. So it could target, so the difference between broad and match is that Amazon can put keywords in between the keyword that you actually, so additional keywords in between the keywords that you actually put. So for example here, you put in an example, you're targeting gold eye mask. Amazon may show your sponsored ad on gold women's eye mask, gold eye soothing mask, under eye gold large eye mask for women, as an example. So I hope you guys understood that here. You're putting in a keyword and Amazon is going to show that up on a search term in whatever order it chooses. And sometimes you may be targeting totally irrelevant keywords, and this is why you also need to be on top of that. Negative keywording. Negative phrase. So you've got two types of negative keywords. You can either do negative phrase or negative phrase or exact. And I'll explain that in a second. So the phrase that you do not want Amazon to target and similar to it. So for example, gold eye mask. It will not target gold eye mask, large gold eye mask, under eye gold eye mask for women. So if you put in a negative phrase in a campaign, meaning you're telling Amazon, do not target this specific keyword, it won't target that keyword or that keyword inside of a search term. Okay, so inside of a specific phrase. So if you don't want to target gold eye mask or anything similar to it, you would put in gold eye mask. But if you only don't want to target gold eye mask, then you would put it in a negative exact. The exact search term that you do not want Amazon to target. So here's an example. If you put in gold eye mask in a negative exact, it will not target gold eye masks or gold eye mask. That's it. That's the difference between the two. I usually only use negative exact because I'm telling Amazon I don't want them to target that specific keyword. Maybe that specific keyword along with additional keywords will work. Product targeting. My favorite. So I don't feel like enough people talk about this. In product targeting, you can target the following. Target by ASIN. You can target a list of ASINs that you choose yourself. Target suggested products that Amazon suggests. Or you can target by category. Category is a group of ASINs that are paired into a group. Each category will have an estimate of the total products contained within it. You can limit the ASINs contained in your category with the refine button. This allows you to only target ASINs associated with specific brands, prices, and star ratings. So if you're targeting by category, what that means is that you can click on the refine button and then choose to target only specific ASINs or only specific brands or prices or star ratings, and then you're still targeting it by category, but you're just making it more restricted. And targeting by ASIN, you're literally just targeting different listings that are similar to yours or the ASINs that you've chosen to target. And this is one of my favorite campaigns. I do a lot of ASIN targeting. Understanding keywords. So, okay, I feel like a lot of people have no idea what the difference between short tail, mid tail, and long tail is. So I want to give an example. So let's pretend that we're going to be selling a bottle, some sort of bottle. We'll understand what bottle soon. The short tail or the main keyword would be bottle. The mid tail would be red bottle, sports bottle, men's bottle, water bottle, plastic bottle. The longer tail would be red water bottle, sports water bottle for gym, workout water bottle for men, workout water bottle 1 gallon, fitness bottle with straw, plastic free water bottle. So I hope you guys sort of understand. I feel like a lot of you need to understand this. When you've got usually your mid tails and your short tails usually are the more expensive ones because they're usually your main keywords. The long tails, usually, not always, are the least expensive ones, especially if they're super long long tails, because usually less people are searching for them, and then they also become less competitive as well. So that is when you guys hear me talk about short tail, mid tail, and long tails, that's it. Now in this video, I'm not going to talk about how I choose keywords. I'm going to make a different video about that because that's just going to make this too long. So some facts that you should know about PPC. There is no one strategy for PPC. Each product is unique and requires its own approach to PPC. So when you see all these gurus make different types of their strategy for PPC, that's what's worked for them. It doesn't mean it's going to work for every single product. I have my own PPC structure, and sometimes when I do a coaching call with a client, it may change a little bit. The base will be the same, but it may change a little bit for their specific product. 2, PPC is all about trial and error, and that's just really, really true. It is all about trial and error, and it's something that you need to take into account, and it takes about 3 months for you to really find out what keywords or ASINs are going to work exactly for you. It's not something that you just, you start these campaigns and that's it. You're going to have a really low ACOS and it's going to be amazing. It's all about trial and error. Your strategy will change over time as you get more reviews and more brand awareness. You're going to be able to target your main competitors, your main keywords, etc. Your strategy will eventually change from what it was in the beginning. You can never, ever put your PPC on autopilot, ever. Not now and not in 5 years from now. You should never get into some sort of comfort zone where you just trust your PPC that it can be on autopilot. There's no such thing. You have to be on top of your PPC for now and forever. Eventually, when you become hopefully a very big brand and you've got a lot of different types of products and PPC becomes a little bit overwhelming, you can also hire VAs for this type of stuff. But this is something that you have to do forever. You should not be attributing your ad spend to your ad sales, but rather to your overall sales. We'll get into this later. I don't know if I did write this later, if I did talk about it later, but let's briefly talk about this now. A lot of people look at their ACOS and only care about their ACOS. But if I was to tell you that I spent this year $100,000 on PPC, you'd be like, whoa, that's so expensive. And let's say that those $100,000, the ad spent, so the money that came back from that was $300,000. So that doesn't look like, you're like, okay, you got back $300,000 in sales from your PPC, but you spent $100,000. That's a pretty high ACOS. But then if I was to tell you that I made in revenue in general this year $5 million, suddenly $100,000 compared to $5 million looks very, very small. So you need to remember that you don't just look at your ACOS, because your ACOS is only the sales that you got from your PPC. And sometimes someone may see your ad and later on go and purchase your product and not click on it through there. And that's helping you to scale your brand in general, and it's helping you to scale your product in general. So that's a really important fact. Okay, fact number 6 gets its own page. Let's see what it is. The most important thing in PPC is to understand the purpose of each campaign. If you don't understand the purpose of a campaign, how can you correctly optimize it? And this is just so true from the amount of coaching calls I do with people. And I ask them, okay, but what's the purpose of this campaign? And they just say, I just followed a YouTube video. You need to know why you have each campaign. Optimizing is a lot more than just ACOS, which we just spoke about. It's also about impressions, CTR, CPC. They also matter. And if you've done a coaching call with me, then you know this. So I just want to stop on this for a second. And you need to make sure that you understand why you have a specific campaign going on. If you don't, you're not going to be able to do anything with that campaign because you've just copy and pasted something that someone has told you to do. So this is how my PPC structure works per product. This could change over time. This obviously does change, and I'll explain that in a second. So I'm just going to talk about that. The first, I'll have one auto campaign, which is just for data. I will have one auto campaign, which I call the ACOS saver, and I'll speak about that later. I'll have one exact campaign that will have a maximum of 3 to 5 keywords. And that's the campaign that I want to specifically rank for those keywords. I will have one exact campaign for 10 keywords that I can compete against right now. These may change over time, or you may add more over time in separate campaign. So if you're just launching, you would go and take your, for example, longer tail keywords or the keywords that you can win on and put them in this campaign, in the 10 keyword campaign. Then I'll have and we'll talk about that soon. Then you'll have one exact campaign with common spelling mistakes. And I've noticed lately that I haven't been talking about this as much, and this is really important. So one exact campaign with common spelling mistakes. Usually a maximum of 10. Okay, and then I'll have one phrase campaign in the beginning. This is for more of like a launching type of structure. I'll have one phrase campaign that will have between 3 to 5 keywords that I'd like to target similar variations to. So in the exact campaign, I put in the exact keywords that I want to target. And now in this phrase campaign, I'm putting keywords that I want to turn into search terms. So for example, if I'm targeting water bottle, I may put in there fitness water bottle, and then Amazon could target fitness water bottle for women, men's fitness water bottles, and different sort of search terms like that. I usually don't run both a phrase and a broad, so you can do this either in phrase or broad and see what one works out best for you. If you tried with phrase and you're not, you've tried different types of keywords and it's not working out for you, then you can move that into a broad or the opposite. And I'll talk more about this with the keywords in the next video. And then I'll have one ASIN targeted campaign, which will have a maximum of 10 ASINs that I can compete against with on price, ratings, or images. If I want a specific keyword or ASIN to get as many impressions as possible, I'll give it its own relevant campaign. So usually it's an exact campaign. So for example, if I want to rank for, let's just pretend, fitness water bottle for women, I will put fitness water bottle for women in an exact campaign on its own with no other keywords. And that way, that's going to get all of the impressions just for that keyword. Because remember, when you're putting different keywords into a specific campaign, it's the impressions are being shared between all of the different keywords, and Amazon chooses which one it's going to target. So if you want to also boost that rank, give 1 or 2 keywords their own impression, their own campaign, and then it will get 100% of the impressions to that. So my PPC structure for launch. So auto campaign, which would be a sort of medium bid, medium daily budget. So you could start anywhere of between $25 to $50 per day. Medium bid. So let's say if the lowest bid is 50 cents, the medium bid is $1, and then the highest suggested bid by Amazon is $1.50. You could put in between $1 to $1.50. So something that's really important is that you later on need to understand that you're going to be looking in an Excel sheet and you're going to be reading a search term report. And if you didn't name your campaigns correctly, it's going to be really difficult to know which campaign is what. So make sure you name it properly, because later on you can't go and change that. So this would be, for example, gold iPads, auto data. This campaign's purpose initially is to get exposure and sales velocity and data, because remember, we have to know the purpose of a campaign in order to be able to later on optimize it correctly. I will let this run for 2 weeks, and then I'll start optimization. I will check every few days to make sure no irrelevant keywords are there, and if there are, I'll remove them by adding them as a negative exact, because remember, in auto, you're not targeting specific keywords. Amazon is choosing what keywords it's going to target. So let's just pretend that you've pulled up a search term report, and gold iPads for men is irrelevant for some. Okay, it's not irrelevant. Let's pretend gold eye mask for costume. Okay, if you're selling gold iPads, which are like the cosmetic beauty gold iPads, it's got absolutely nothing to do with a gold eye mask. So if gold eye mask for costume is coming up, you would take that and put it into a negative exact. So that's that. So after 2 weeks, the purpose of this campaign will become data only. And that's because in PPC in 2019, it is best to give Amazon minimum control. The A9 algorithm is built in a way to spend your money as soon as possible. So make it hard work for it to spend your money as soon as possible by continuously optimizing your campaigns. And this is just really important, especially with auto campaigns. So initially the purpose of this is to get exposure, to get sales velocity, and to get data. But after 2 weeks, or after you have actually enough data in there, that then becomes data only. You will then take out keywords from this campaign that are converting well, and you'll move them to a manual campaign. A manual campaign, either exact phrase or broad. And keywords that are irrelevant here or not working, not converting well, you'll put them as in a negative exact, not a negative phrase. And I'll talk a little bit more about this keyword, the more keyword type of campaigns and what you should be doing with keywords in the next video. So my PPC structure, exact match. So this is an exact campaign, the one that I call rank. I would call it gold iPads, exact rank. It's then the 3 top search terms that you'd like to rank for. And the purpose of this campaign is ranking. Why only 3 keywords? Because we want all of them to get impressions. What happens is if you put 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 keywords in one campaign, you'll see that only 3 or 4 of those keywords will actually get the most impressions. And usually they're the ones that cost you the most money, or else the rest of the keywords won't even get a chance to convert. So you should put the least amount of keywords in a campaign, especially for a rank campaign. If you put over 10 keywords in one campaign, you will see that 2 to 3 keywords will have lots of impressions and the rest will have next to nothing. I just said that. Tip, you may see high ACOS or no ACOS at all for the low impression keywords and then decide to get rid of them, but the truth is they did not have enough eyeballs see the campaign for that specific keyword. So if you have a keyword that only got 1, 2, 3, 4 impressions, but you think you could actually convert from that keyword, take it out of either an exact campaign where it's not converting well or isn't even getting impressions, and give it its own campaign, like I spoke about earlier. How do you choose keywords for this campaign? So whatever will be easiest for you to rank on, but is still relevant. So for example, gold iPads, mid-tail keyword, but also a main keyword. Gold eye patch for under eyes, it's a longer tail keyword, it's less competitive, but it also has less buyers searching for the specific search term, and usually longer tails are also less expensive. We spoke about that earlier. Gold pads for under eye is a longer tail. This campaign may be a little bit more expensive and even have higher ACOS, but that's okay because in the beginning, the main purpose of this campaign is to rank and scale. So you let this campaign work for a minimum of 2 weeks. After that, you look at the ACOS, the impressions, and the CTR. And if one of those keywords is not getting enough eyeballs, so impressions, take it out of this campaign or pause it. And you need to pause it and give it its own campaign. I just said that as well. You want to rank for these keywords. You have to make sure they get impressions and then replace it with another search term. So what that means is if you've put in here 3 keywords, gold eye pads, gold eye patch for under eyes, and gold pads for under eye, because you've used Helium 10 and you've either used Magnet or Cerebro, and you've come up with the fact that these keywords are going to be easiest for you to rank on. And after 2 weeks, you've pulled out a search term report, and then suddenly you see that gold eye pads and gold eye patch for under eyes had 5,000 impressions each, and then gold pads for under eye only had 2. Gold pads for under eye isn't getting any impressions right now. So you would take it out of there and you'd give it its own campaign, because you want to rank for that keyword and you want to give it a chance to convert well. And then from there, you'll then optimize that campaign as well. Make sure that that it's converting there and it's getting, impressions, etc. Okay, so my next campaign is also an exact campaign, and this one has 10 keywords in it. So I'll call it Gold iPads Exact 10 Sales or something along those lines. You can call it whatever you want, but just make sure that you name it by the relevancy to it. So if it's an exact campaign that you're going to have only 10 keywords that you're going to target, then call it 10. The purpose of this campaign is to get exposure, brand awareness, and to rank, and sales velocity. So this campaign has a lot of different purposes. You target your longer tails so that you have less competition, you spend less per bid, and these are usually the easier keywords to rank for, and overall sales velocity will help you to rank for your main keywords as well. So here's an example: gold eye mask for puffy eyes, gold eye patches for under eye wrinkles, gold eye patches for women, etc. Notice that gold eye pads, gold eye mask, gold eye patches are almost in every single keyword. So by getting sales for those search terms, okay, so for these 10 keywords, it's also going to help me rank for gold eye pads, for gold eye patches, and for gold eye mask, which are most probably the main keywords. If you see that a specific search term is continuously converting but not receiving enough eyeballs, so impressions, give it its own campaign. So we just spoke about that a few times, and you guys get that. So ASIN targeting. So this is now campaign number 4. I would call it ASIN targeting. Name could be Gold iPads ASIN targeting top 10, because I'll also put in only 10 keywords here. This is one of my best campaigns on all of my products. The purpose of this campaign is to get brand awareness, steal sales from your competitors, and rank for competitors' keywords. If you do not have an ASIN targeted campaign, you are missing out on sales 100%. If one ASIN is converting really well, I'll even give it its own ad campaign. What ASINs do I usually target? So number 1, converting ASINs from auto campaigns. Number 2, ASINs that are less appealing than my product, not so great images, reviews, rating, or pricing. That's the two ways that I will qualify an ASIN and whether I should actually target it initially or not. Once I have at least 10 reviews, I could then also use ASINs from the frequently bought together, and the top 3 competitors. So initially, when I'm launching, I'm not going to go for the people that have 1,000 or 500 reviews. I'm going to target the guys that I'm going to be able to easily steal sales from, because right now I have no reviews. This is a launch. So be smart, go with your gut feeling, and target the ASINs that are less appealing than yours, less competitive, and you know that you're actually going to be able to steal sales from them. Later on, once, obviously for all of this, everything I'm telling you guys here, make sure your listing is like the bomb. The best listing it could be. You're going to have amazing images. Images are everything. I'll make a video just speaking about images, but obviously everything I'm telling you, it doesn't even matter how good of a campaign structure you can have. If you've got a shitty listing, it's not going to work. So obviously make sure that your listing is amazing. But that's the ASIN targeting. So initially target ASINs that are less appealing than yours. Later on, once you've got more retail readiness, then target ASINs from frequently bought with or from your top competitors. Why is ASIN targeting so important? And also, I feel like so many people aren't doing this. So 99% of buyers will scroll down to look at the reviews when on a product page. On their journey down to the reviews, they're bombarded with sponsored ads of similar products compared to the one that they're on right now or the frequently bought with. This is Amazon giving the buyer an alternative to the product they're looking at right now. So Amazon does not want you to go and look for gold iPads and then look at a listing, decide that you don't like that specific product page, and then like to click out of Amazon and go and try and find it somewhere else. They're going to continuously bombard you with different alternative products, and everyone goes and looks at the reviews when they look at Amazon. 99% of buyers, and then on their way down there, they're going to see your sponsored ad. You have to be there. It's the best way to be able to actually steal a sale from them. Remember that purchase decisions are made on product pages and not in the search results. So be in their face as much as you can, and that's just a really important fact to remember. You make a purchase decision when on a product page, not when you're in the search result page. So be there. If your competitor is outranking you on an important keyword, target their listing. You only do this once your product is fully retail ready. So this is where I said earlier that you would target this only once you've got enough reviews, etc. But so what that means, if a buyer search for gold iPads, which is the main keyword for that, main keywords are usually the most expensive keywords. So they searched for gold iPads, and then they clicked on a specific product page, scrolled down, and then they saw your ad on that product page, and then they ended up buying that product. That will also help you rank for their initial search term that they searched for, which was gold iPads, and will usually cost less, as usually bids for ASINs will be cheaper than main keyword bids, not always. So what that means is, if you want to also rank for a specific keyword, target the ASIN that continuously comes up for that specific keyword organically on the first, the first 3 listings at the top. And that will also help you if you're able to get sales from a specific keyword from their listing. It's going to help you to also rank.
Hi guys, so by the time I finished the video, I noticed that I forgot to make the spelling mistakes campaign. So I have added that in. So this will be number 5. You'll suddenly see that next one will also be number 5. Just in your brain, change it to number 6, and then the last one to number 7. Okay, so this is a exact campaign for common spelling mistakes. You can also do this in a phrase campaign. I usually do it in an exact campaign. The purpose of this campaign is to target common spelling mistakes and to get sales velocity, and basically to get sales from those common spelling mistakes. And this is something that a lot of sellers do not do, so it's a great opportunity to steal some sales. You take your top 10 common spelling mistakes or spelling mistake search terms, and these may change as you optimize your campaign, and you put them in an exact campaign. If you have a lot of common spelling mistakes, then you can create 2 separate campaigns just for spelling mistakes. So Helium 10 has a tool which is called the Misspellinator, which you can use to find common spelling mistakes that Amazon does not auto-correct. And you've got a 10% off for Helium 10 in the description of this video. And then I've given you some examples. So you can have, for example, the first word that I put in, first keyword, gold iPads with a W instead of an E, golf iPads instead of gold iPads, gold eye mask instead of mask, gold eye treatment without an A, under eye patch without a T, wrinkle without an I, etc. You guys get the point. And these obviously have to keep an eye on them and make sure that they're actually getting impressions. If certain keywords are not getting impressions, and maybe just not enough people even actually search that specific common spelling mistake, and then you'll just pause that and change it with another mistake until you find between 10 to 20. So if it's 20, it's 2 separate campaigns, one with 10 and the other with 10, until you find your top 10 or 20 spelling mistakes. Even if they get you 2 or 3 sales a month, that's awesome.
So we're now moved to the 5th campaign, which I either have a phrase or a broad. I don't usually have them both. This is what has worked for me. Some of you guys that I've coached, after I see your specific product and the competition on it, etc., you may have seen that I have made both a phrase and a broad campaign with you, but I usually only have either phrase or broad. Either or, but I don't start with both. You may have more than one campaign like this. So you may have a gold iPads phrase top keywords. The purpose of this campaign is to target search terms for sales velocity. You can take your top 5 mid-tails and put them here. So if you're selling a gold iPad, then you'd go for gold iPad, gold eye patch, gold eye mask, gold eye treatment, and under eye patch. So we went over this in the beginning, what phrase and broad will do with this. But for example, if I have it in a phrase campaign, gold iPad, then it will target gold iPad for women, gold iPad for men, women's gold iPad, etc. And then if it was in a broad campaign, it may be gold women's iPads, etc. So I usually put in here the mid-tails, and then they will turn into search terms. And the reason, I just want to make sure you guys make sure that you understand that, I only put a maximum of 10 keywords in each campaign. So if you have, let's say, 20 of these that you want to use, give them each their own campaign. So 10 in one campaign, 10 in another. My secret weapon. So the auto campaign that I call the ACOS saver. So it's a 6 campaign that I'll have running. I have an ACOS saver campaign for every single campaign, for every single product that I have. This is a strategy I learned from an 8-figure seller, and it's worked amazingly for me. So I'll also show you guys an example for one of my products. So I would call this Gold iPads Auto ACOS Saver. The purpose of this campaign, and its only purpose, is to lower your overall ACOS. That's it. It has no other purpose apart from that. It takes around 2 months for this campaign to start working correctly. So make it as soon as possible and just be patient. Eventually it will start working. So you make this campaign from day one, and you just have to be patient. It may take a few months, but in the end, it'll be worth it. Do not negative exact keywords on this campaign unless they're super irrelevant. So how does it work? It is enough to get 1 to 3 sales a month from this campaign with an ACOS below 10% to help you to lower your overall ACOS, which Amazon's algorithm absolutely loves. So you would make your per bid 20 cents. So your bids are going, your default bid here would be 20 cents, and your daily budget would be a minimum of 1,000. Do not be scared. This campaign won't even reach $5 a day. Okay, usually you'll spend like a maximum of $10, and then you would have gotten 2 or 3 sales. If after 2 months you have still no sales, change the default bid. I don't know why I wrote per bid. It should say default bid to 25 cents or to a maximum of 30 cents. And then you have here an example. So this is an example from 2 of my products, and you can see here that the spent was, for the first one, $116, and then it came back with $766 in sales, which is a 15% ACOS. And then another product spent $94, and it came back with $1,000 in sales this specific month, which was 9.12 ACOS, which gave this specific ACOS saver campaigns 11% ACOS. So that's going to help me to lower my overall ACOS. So that is it, guys. That was just to really understand and get to know how PPC works. In the next video, I'm going to talk more about keywords and bid targeting and how you choose keywords. I'm going to get into Amazon and get into HELIUM 10 and actually show you what kind of keywords I would put in which campaign. I will eventually also make other PPC videos actually showing how I optimize search term reports, but I felt that it's really important to also make sure you actually understand how PPC works. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. I'm really trying to grow this channel and have just a really keep it real channel. Click that notification bell so that you get notified when I bring out a new video, and click the like button if you like the video. And if you have any comments or any questions, please feel free to ask them. And if you go to the description of this video, and you'll be able to find the group. I have a small Amazon group. Currently it's small, I'm sure it'll be big one day. It's called Amazon FBA Alphas. Go search that on Facebook. And if you're in need of a one-on-one coaching call, then there'll also be a link for that in the description below. Thanks for watching the video, guys, and have an awesome day.